I'm finna call about this Super. Where's Super at? It's been like 4 years.
I think it's dropping next year.
Man, you say that every year. You literally say that. I think it's dropping next year. It's coming out. Man, where?
Turning nothing to something, Getting back like the map with instructions. No, we not doing dysfunction. Talented back when we be on our function. Ain't no need for introduction. You, my friend, take a seat and discuss it.
Yo, welcome back to Discussion with the Friend podcast. It's your boy Rod.
It's your boy Jimmy G.
And today we got another episode for you guys. So we're going to talk about, can you live without your cell phone? So let me ask the man himself, can you live without your cell phone? Can you?
To be honest, I'm probably leaning towards no, because when I look at my friends and other people, I'd say that I'm not on my phone as much, but I also don't believe that I'd be able to figure out certain things without it. Like, say for instance, if I had to say I was lost and I had to phone a friend. Now, a good thing, I have good memory, so I'd be able to remember a few numbers.
Right.
But like, say like I needed to call somebody and I didn't have it memorized. Do I know how to use the phone book? Because you all know that's archaic. Nobody uses those anymore.
Dang, I almost forgot about.
I remember we used to sell it with my mom. We used to sell them and drop it on the front porch.
Dang, phone books.
But like, there's
yellow book, yellow pages. That's what it's called.
Yellow pages. Had it in the van. But
they're like, what are y'all talking about?
But I just don't think there's certain things that I'd be able to do without the phone. So, if we're just being honest.
I should have prefaced this by saying that this is like, like today we went to the gym and he left his phone.
Oh yeah, my friends get on me all the time.
Yeah, he don't need his phone for real. Like I'm somebody that like, I'm naked without the phone. I can't even hold you. Like, it's just, I'm so used to it now. You know, like I feel naked without the phone. Like unless I'm like in like the crib. Even then though, after a certain amount of time, where's my phone? So
I'm also one of those where it's like I wait until like the very last second to charge my phone.
Yeah.
And I know that be getting on people's nerves too.
I get on people's nerves because why don't you charge your phone? Woo, it's dead. Because look, I have an iPhone SE. I got the new version, but it's not that strong. Like the battery is not gonna last that long. Let's be real.
That's how you kill the battery.
I be on it a lot, so hey, don't blame me. Blame iPhone. But to answer the question, in today's society, no, I don't think I could live without my phone because, like Jimmy was saying, it's too important now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the way we're living, just as far as safety goes, and just communication goes with like the people you stay in touch with, like your loved ones, and then even like just access to things. So like the internet access is huge now. But we're gonna jump into that topic. But right now, it's time to go to everyone's favorite segment. That's unnecessary.
Sir.
So, start it off, man. What's some unnecessary stuff you seen this week?
Okay, so last weekend in Miami, they had the Rolling Loud Music Festival.
True.
And one thing that caught my attention was the Kid Cudi and how he was booed off stage.
Damn.
Now, I don't know 100% like what happened with that, so I don't know the full details, but I know for sure that he was a replacement for Kanye West.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. I did.
And then the whole like rage about it was Kanye West ended up showing up to Lil Durk's set.
Yeah, with Durk. Yeah.
So I think a lot of people were upset about that, but also people were started throwing water bottles at Kid Cudi. And he was saying, hey, if you guys don't stop that, I'm going to leave. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, they continued to do that. So he set the mic down and he left. Now, again, I don't know the full circumstances. I don't know if his performance was bad. I did hear rumors that, like, there was something wrong with his set. So, like, maybe the sound was a little off. But even if you're not rocking with a performance, like, it's one thing to boo. Like, that's okay. But to, like, physically put somebody in danger, now it is a water bottle. But still, like, if enough of those hit you, and to say, like, a canteen, like we be carrying.
Hey, I know y'all seen The Boys when, what's his name got hit with that bottle, that can.
Oh, my God.
It had a lasting effect, so I'm not saying that Kid Cudi Homelander, but.
Oh, so he might have to put a clip of that in there. But even so, it's unnecessary because, like, for one, the person he is and everything that he's like gone through. So he is like a mental health advocate. Like people looked up to him for that, and to like try to put him down again after he's basically helped so many with that, I feel was kind of unnecessary and unwarranted to me. So
I feel you on that. But just to piggyback off that, you know what else is unnecessary about Kid Cudi? That man selling a $225 McDonald's collab sweatshirt. And then when you look on the collab, it's like pixelated. Like y'all couldn't have got no pristine like pictures of the collab. Like I'm telling you. You would have thought that collab came out 20, 30 years ago, the way the pixels was on that mug. But hey, that don't warrant him getting hit with a water bottle.
I was saying, are they trying to be like, yeah, we have this collab, but we don't want you to notice? I'm like, it's advertised.
It's McDonald's. McDonald's. But, so what I seen that was unnecessary. Kyler Murray, this man got a independent study clause in his contract after getting a $250+ million contract.
Do you know like what that entails? Like if he didn't do it, does he lose out? Did he lose out on money?
I would assume that because I don't know how. I think that 250 I think that's guaranteed. We'll put it here, but I would assume that there's incentives that he would lose out on if he doesn't follow that. And what the study clause was, he had to study 4 hours a night, I'm pretty sure. So they're basically saying you're back in college.
I want to say, now is that related to like film session?
Film, that's what they mean.
Okay, now that kind of makes sense.
It don't make sense because like, if you're a quarterback and you get, for not even just a quarterback, you're a quarterback at the highest level, and they just gave you a baggie, a dumb, stupid bag. It's expected. That's the least you could do.
Right.
They used to come to practices and film sessions with a laundry bag full of tapes.
Right.
So why would we have to put it in your clause that you need to watch film?
True. I guess like how I view it is like they want to make sure they're getting their money's worth because Muggs get the bag and they run with it. Chandler Parsons.
But they took it out.
But so they probably realized, okay, maybe it's enough. It's Kyler Murray. I think we good. I kind of understand why they did it, but I've never heard that in my life.
I'm not even gonna lie because you're a quarterback. Like that's like if nobody else watched film on the football team, that's the one position that's watching film.
You know who they should have gave that to?
Who?
Marcus Russell when he was in there. Because you heard the story. I guess they gave him tapes to study.
But did you see what he just came out and said about what he was going through during that time? With his uncle and then his like family passing and all that stuff and how
I heard a little glimpse. Yeah.
So like I would give him somewhat of a pass for that, and it's the Raiders.
Yeah.
Y'all are terrible.
Yeah, they were buns at that
The
time.
reason why the Cardinals lost last year was because of Kyler Murray. Like, yes, they did get to the playoffs. He did get in the Pro Bowl. But he looked scared playing in that playoff game. So, you know, and the thing is, this is the same dude that had deleted all the stuff from the Cardinals or whatever off his Instagram. Like he on some childish stuff. So I'm just saying, like, the one thing though, you should at least be able to watch film. I shouldn't have to beg you to do your job.
Right.
Like, come on, man. And you getting a dumb, stupid bag. And they took it out. Have the what Skip Bayless be saying? Have the courage of your convictions. Keep that mug in. Like if you gonna give him that clause, keep it in. Don't get scared when social media start making a big deal about it because you knew that was gonna happen.
Right, stand by your word.
On me. But yeah, that's unnecessary. But hey, he got a bag, so I know he don't really care like that.
And I'm hoping that he's successful with it.
Yeah, bro, cold. I can't lie. I rock with bro.
For me, this might ruffle some feathers, but I felt like this is unnecessary because I saw this on Twitter. There was this girl who was she was given oral on MacArthur. I think it was MacArthur Highway, and I believe that's in Georgia. I've never been.
What, like on the highway, like the expressway?
Like in the middle
of the road? Like
yes, in the middle. Cars were passing both sides.
On the shoulder?
No, I think it was like in the middle.
Huh?
Yes. And like somebody had caught on a videotape, and of course I'm going through the comments, and I see that the girl ended up commenting on Twitter and saying that was a snippet to an OnlyFans video.
Oh, she trying to promo some stuff.
Nah, it's unnecessary for the fact that you doing it out in public, but it's also like
At the expense of your life.
Right, but it's also like, well, that's the vid right there. Like, there's nothing else to promo.
On me, yeah.
All the people who
Right.
could have seen it are seeing it right there.
Right, yeah. Well, I don't. What is the build up to?
Because
That's the build up.
It looked like a busy highway, so pretty much all your fans was probably on that highway at that time. If we're being honest, hella cars was passing. So, but I digress. But it's kind of funny because should I be like the OnlyFans?
What?
If there's any OnlyFans,
What you
wanted to
mean?
have the discussion.
Oh, you talking about? I mean, if y'all do OnlyFans and you would want to come on the podcast, I mean, we'll have that conversation with y'all. But I'm gonna ask the hard questions. I'm letting you know right now, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you're not making no real bread, we don't want you. Cause I want somebody that's really getting bread off of it.
Right.
Cause I want to see what's to it. Not that I would ever do it, but I just want to see like the makings of why you would, do that, and is it really, I just want to have a little talk.
Yeah. So hit us up in the comments, or probably more so in our DMs, and we can make something happen.
Slide in his DM though.
Yo.
Yo. Hey.
Right.
So let's hop into our first topic for the day. So we're talking about cell phones, and me and Jimmy come from the age where there were no cell phones at first, and if there were, they were primitive. So they were. Them mugs was, come on, bro. You know what a June bug is, or the what was it? What was it, like the June bug or the Firefly or whatever?
Oh my god.
We had those, and then we had the burner phones, the prepaid Virgin Mobile, like
Virgin Mobile.
Yeah.
Oh, it's at the landline.
On me.
We had to call. Mom, can I borrow the
Mugs had
phone?
No, we ain't had
No,
that.
we
I
ain't.
ain't-
No, that was
I ain't
my
gonna hold
parents.
you. We ain't had
That
that.
was a generation back.
But no. So cell phones, for real. We come from the time where the main purpose of cell phones was just used for calling, and then eventually as upgrades were made, you used it for texting, and then gradually more features were added. So I feel like that is it's a point to be made, because you would have never thought that we would get to this point. And I remember the time where I had, like I was saying, the first phone I ever had was a prepaid phone. I think it was a Virgin Mobile phone. Yep. And I would get the little card and put like $20 on it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you can call, and I forgot how much it was like costing the call, but the main feature that was like our big thing was texting.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like back then, I really didn't have nobody to text. I was in 5th grade, 4th grade, something like that. Like I didn't have nobody to text. Mm-hmm. I had like my cousins and stuff or whatever, maybe a couple friends. But yeah, like that was a big deal. But the even bigger deal, as kids, it was games.
Yeah.
The meme, oh, you got any games on your phone? Like we didn't even, like the games he had, we didn't have those back then. We had like Tetris and like, pinball, the games like that. Mm-hmm. But that was like the big draw. And then also ringtones. So, like I said, the $20 that you were spending, you could use it in multiple ways. You could use it for games, you could use it for ringtones. Now look, I'm gonna keep it $2 billion with y'all. I would use out my $20, probably texting, probably on some games. I don't got no money for no ringtone. So I was putting the phone up to a radio and recording the new Lil Wayne song, New Lollipop. Why you got all that static in your stuff? Don't worry about that. It's a lollipop, don't worry about that. So I was recording it off the radio, recording it off of like an MP3 player, all that stuff. And that was the cool thing though, just customizable ringtones. And now it's like, I don't even think I've really heard nobody with like a customizable ringtone like that.
It's also harder to do, especially.
It's way harder to do.
Cause on Android you could do that because they have apps for that. But on Apple, I think you got to pay. No, I think there's a way because I think you could do that with your alarm. How you could customize it to a song.
I had it done at one time,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how to do it anymore. I can't even lie.
Without having to pay.
Yeah, without having to pay.
Because that what they be trying to make you to pay. But
I know.
if you could do that with your alarm, you should be able to do that with your phone too.
Well, I'm gonna keep it a buck. The way I was able to do it was because it was a song that I had already purchased on iTunes.
Mm.
You know, when you could still do that or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, but those were the biggest draws. And then, like I said, so that was like, you know, when I first got my phone. And then as I got into middle school, 7th grade, I remember I got my first like real phone, and it was a Crazer, Motorola, black, black and orange. You know, cause repping my middle school colors. I thought I was so cold. And you know, my mom gave me the phone. She don't, cause we couldn't have phones in school. She don't pull that phone out. Only use it for emergencies. Keep it a buck, Mom. You know I wasn't doing that. I was definitely texting. I was definitely, you know, calling, doing all that stuff on the phone. Thought it was so cold. And that was still just, you know, ringtones, games, texting. Now, this is what flipped the game on its head. When we got into, I remember the summer going into freshman year, that's when I got my first smartphone. And I got the LG, what was it, Optimus? Yeah, the LG Optimus. Man, like that just opened up a whole new world, because not only did you have like all these different apps, because it went from games to like apps. Like it was an app for everything. So that's when you had the YouTube, the old YouTube OG logo. Excuse me. And then all the, you know, Cup Pong, Paper Toss, the game, Fruit Ninja, all that.
Yep.
That's when that was bussing. So that was like huge. And then the internet. So like, I will say that in like 8th grade, I, you know, eventually, you know, I upgraded phones and stuff. I had so many different phones, man. Like, you know, I was breaking them, losing them. I remember I lost my phone one time in the snow. And I lost it for like 2 weeks. No. And it was a Nokia. That's why them Nokias built for it tough. And I had it in the snow. And I came back, and I remember it was like the last day, because I was like, I didn't tell my mom though. Because, you know, I had already lost my phone before to get that phone. So I'm like, I can't tell her, you know. So literally, I'm like, hey, if I don't find it today, I just got to bite the bullet. I found it in the snow. I just seen it like walking by. What's that? It's like a black thing. Grabbed it, and it was on, bro.
Okay, charged. I was just finna say, was it the color white?
It was like a black, it was a flip phone. Because I had just lost my real phone, so, you know, that was the replacement. But it built for it tough. But yeah, so like I was saying, a smartphone, and then the internet was huge. The internet was like, you know, that's where all the social media apps and stuff started coming out. And then that's where you could just search and do everything. And, you know, I'm going to let you speak on your experience with the phones, but that's really kind of what segued us into where we're at now for me.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that.
Of course.
You had quite the journey. I personally, I didn't get a phone until I was in middle school, and my first phone was a smartphone, but
Ooh, okay.
It was Virgin Mobile. Like, it was just a real small one. It was prepaid, so I had to get the card as well to fill it. Now, I really didn't buy no ringtones or nothing, but I actually had the app Zedge. Zedge helped me out a lot. Zedge. Zedge, you could get the ringtones and you could get the wallpaper.
I remember Zedge, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But one big thing I remembered, you know Boost Mobile, right?
Mm-hmm. Where you at?
Well, bro, when I was like, it was like 4th grade or something. It was like that summer. I had some cousins that lived in the projects. Boost Mobile chirp phones, you could hear it all throughout. Hey, where you at? Literally every second. You were hearing it throughout the projects. Everybody had those phones. And like, I was like, hey, that's kind of cold. It's a walkie-talkie, but it's a phone.
Yeah.
And then, like, of course, everybody had the little flip phones. I personally, like, I'm like, how? I'm like, I can't do this, bro. Because you got to hit, like, 3 times to get one letter. And then I think this was when we got in middle school, the sidekicks.
Yeah.
So it's like a flip phone, but you...
Bro, I never got a sidekick.
Like
the closest I got was the Gravity, the Samsung Gravity, that little light green and gray phone. Mm-hmm. It didn't like spin flip up like that, but it did flip up with the keyboard.
Like that. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know sidekick.
But I think I got my phone in 7th grade. So I didn't really have to start from the bottom, but so I had the internet, and that's how I like first started with like Facebook and stuff like that. But another thing to know is like around that time, iPads were a big thing. So if you didn't have a phone, a lot of people were playing the same games on the iPads.
Yeah, that's true.
iPads or little iPod Nanos and stuff like that.
I was
Have
too
their
broke
music.
to get I had a man. What did I have, G? Oh my god. Cause hey, I didn't have it, but I always wanted it. My cousin had a Zune.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
My uncle had one.
Yeah,
He
Zune.
had a Zoom.
I had like a little fake MP. Hey, but my stuff was busting. I could hold like 1,000 songs on my stuff. It's just I don't know the brand.
It was cold though, cause it was
No,
like
Zoom was
for
cold. I
like
never had it.
50, some outrageously low price, and you
Yeah.
could have just the same amount of songs.
Bro, we was watching Boondocks, all that on there.
He uncle put me onto a bunch of artists on that one. But yeah, iPods were a huge thing because you could even play the same games. People had like Text Now and stuff, or
Yeah.
they had Kick. You know, these are
I never got an
instant messaging. You could still do that on the
But I
iPods
know
or
what
the
it is. Yeah.
iPad, the Nanos, but you just didn't have a number. But people was, finessing, attaching a number to it, and handling the same thing. So,
Right. Okay. So, I mean, I'm glad we're on the subject, so we might as well just segue into the next topic. When do you think is the right age to get a phone? Especially now that we're dealing with, these supercomputer phones. Because eventually, we're probably going to have kids. And when do you think you would give your kid a phone? Because it's just like you're opening up like the whole entire world to them.
right. Nowadays, kids are getting phones at like age like 6 and up, sometimes sooner. That's not gonna happen. Okay.
You're not
Now,
going for
obviously,
that.
no. Now, obviously, like say to play, the kids' favorite songs or whatever, you got to use some sort of internet, like YouTube and stuff. Now, I'm not gonna block internet access because
Right.
I'll access that. But for them to personally have their own phone, they're probably not gonna get to high school,
Dang, to high school?
or at least like middle school.
Okay, I was gonna say.
But like not the beginning, probably like 8th grade.
Like
I'm
eighth?
thinking,
Okay.
because that's like they're starting to get. Because it makes sense because they're starting to, to develop those friendships, and they're probably gonna be with those friends going on.
Yeah.
But so I kind of let them figure it out on their own, and then be like, okay, you kind of gain those skills on your own. Here's something that could kind of help you with that. Go further. Now they're not gonna be. I'm not gonna keep them in the dark.
Because that's what I was gonna say. That's gonna be the hard part. It's not really them. It's gonna be them worrying about what Dad. All of my friends have phones. Everybody in my class has phones. So it's like even in elementary school,
Yeah.
they're gonna have phones, and they're
Yup.
gonna have. There's elementary schoolers that have a better phone than me right now.
Yup.
They have a 14.
But we didn't have to
They were
worry
15.
about that. No kid
Right,
had a
nobody
phone. We were
had
in
a phone.
elementary
So
school.
that's the thing that's gonna be hard because it's like, how do you keep explaining to them why you don't have a phone like when everybody else has one?
And then another thing to keep in mind is that they're probably gonna find some stuff out anyway. So it's like you gotta bite the bullet somewhere.
So you said middle school. I'm gonna be real, Jimmy. I don't think that you're gonna be able to hold out until middle school.
What age do you think you if I had to go?
Cause bro, we have to think into the future now. Cause unless we have a kid tomorrow,
Right.
it's going to progressively get worse because they're going to progressively keep getting more and more advanced phones, and they're going to keep introducing it younger and younger to kids. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say, like, as soon as I feel like my child has, developed, like the mental capacity to like understand, like communication and build those kind of friendships and stuff, then I probably would give them a phone. Because until you really like connect with people and all that, what you need a phone for?
Right.
Because you could have an iPad, you could have a tablet, you can have a game system,
Yup. Yeah, I was just
something
gonna
like
mention
that. But it's not really, I feel like, until you need to connect with other people that they would need a phone. So, and I'm gonna base that basically off the kid because, you know,
It's different.
It's different. Like how I will say like I was very outgoing but I also was very to myself at the same time. So like I played a lot of video games growing up. I didn't really get into sports until a late age.
Yeah.
So you know, I probably would have been okay without a phone, maybe up until like I think 5th grade was where I was like getting ready to get, you know, a phone, which is why I got one in 6th grade. So I think it depends on the kid, but then it's like if you have multiple kids, how are you going to explain to them, oh, I'm giving your brother or sister a phone and you don't have one yet?
Because they're going to be like, he has it, I want one.
And that's going to be the issue with the students, with the classmates.
Yep.
So I'm gonna keep it real. It's probably gonna be at a young age. It's probably gonna be somewhere in elementary school, and I'm gonna have to probably be that parent that has to restrict certain things. I'm not gonna restrict
guided access.
Yeah. I don't want to really say that I'll restrict the internet, but I'm gonna have to do what you're saying, like guided access, and just make sure because it's so much stuff. The real problem is the internet. It's not really the functions on the phone. I'm not worried about my kid at 6 or 7 or 10 contacting a whole bunch of people like that. I'm really not. You know, if anything, I would know the parents of the friends that you're, you know, talking to anyway. Yep. So you wouldn't even need to contact whoever it is. It's the internet. So how are we gonna, you know, discretion, use that discretion when we're dealing with kids and the internet? That's really the problem.
I mean, there's a couple ways. You got the parental control, and then guided access. One thing, you could put a time limit. So you could be on the internet, but
like
you could only
time,
be
right? Yeah,
you're going to be on for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Once it goes, then you off. That's one way.
And I know you can restrict certain sites.
Yep, that's part of the parental control.
So I guess that would be something that we would have to do. I would probably give them the phone and see what they're doing. You know, monitor their access because I don't want to just restrict everything because. You know, that's going to make them want to find other stuff more and more. So I'm going to just let you be, you know, hopefully I'm banking on the fact that I'm a decent parent and you're not trying to XXX. go crazy on this one. Hey, keep it a buck, bro.
But like,
I'm keeping it $2 billion on here, man.
Every
kid done got curious.
That's just the name of the game,
because it's not even the kid, it's the classmates, it's society. That's why, but since we're talking about this, we might as well talk about what goes with that, social media.
Yeah.
When are you thinking about letting your kids having social media?
That's probably even a tougher question. That might even be even further, but that's all dependent on the kid itself. Because like I'll give an example. My little brother, he is very active in regards to like gaming. Like he code at the Fortnite. I went over there. This man was like 300. Like dude was on the other side of the map. He said, "Wow." You know how much I have to hold the scope? He just clip.
I can't play Fortnite for my life.
This man had like 7 kills.
How old is he?
I think he's 8.
Oh wow.
8.
I don't think I was that good at games.
Right.
No, I wasn't that good at games at 8. Can't even lie.
So it really just depends on. So I don't know what his like friendship situation is like, but like I would say that he's probably getting close to that age where he might either get his own phone because he kind of has a phone, but it's not like his phone. It's one that he borrows from my dad. But I feel like he's starting to open up and like be more curious about the world, and he's obviously gaming. That's one way you connect. So I feel like in a couple years he might be ready. But I would say if I had to give it an age, I think it makes sense just based on like how society is now and how it's gonna be in the future. Probably like close to 6th grade. Where you get it, because like you're opening those doors to more connections anyway without the phone.
That's true. And
then if we're really going on this trend, a lot more people are going to have phones. So it only makes sense to do it towards, there.
I just think about like an app like TikTok. Like you see all these parents with their young kids on there at a young age. And I've seen like this one video about this one girl that has her little daughter on there. And and like she be having the daughter like eat certain things, like eat hot dogs and like eat pickles, and you know, like on some like sexual innuendo type stuff. And of course, you know, you got creeps on there that be commenting like, oh, she looks good. Shorty 3 years old, bro. Like just weirdo stuff, just weirdo activity. And you know, so there's like many videos made about it, and they're basically saying like, you know, why, you know, there's so many creepy people on TikTok, and they're like blaming them, which you should. But at the same time, you as a parent, why are you putting your daughter on there? Because she's making money. They have like 15 million, 17 million followers. So the mom is making a lot of money off of, you know, the daughter doing TikTok.
Yeah.
But it's like at the expense of your daughter, at the expense of, you know, almost like grooming her. Like it's just like predatory. So I'd be thinking about that. Like that's almost unavoidable. And then it's like you think, you know, of course this is an extreme, but celebrities like with Kanye West kids, how they're on there, and he got mad because he was like, I don't want to have, you know, them on TikTok or whatever, because you know you're exposing them to so much at a young age. Even though yes, they're celebrities, they're gonna get exposed to stuff at a young age off the jump.
I was gonna say, especially off the status.
But off TikTok though, like I don't know, like I don't know when I would be okay with my son or daughter having a TikTok, because I just feel like you're accelerating them like growing up, because they're getting exposed to so much stuff. Same thing with Twitter.
And I feel like Twitter and TikTok, I feel like those two apps are the apps that kind of where you're the most curious, and your curiosity could lead to you finding out so much fast. Because all you got to do on TikTok, type in some, you see one thing, you click on a hashtag, now your algorithm opens up based on a keyword or a video you like.
Yep.
And then Twitter, obviously, you got the trending and people scrolling. Click on that. That leads you to something else.
And the story about that, like my mom, when I was growing up, it took some convincing for me to get MySpace when it first came out. You know, she was what's the word I'm looking for? Apprehensive when it came out, because you know it's the same thing we're talking about. It's exposing them, and I was like maybe in 4th or 5th grade. I think I might have been a little bit younger, maybe like 3rd grade, 4th grade. But yeah, so it took some commitment. But when Facebook came out, she told me like, no, you can't have a Facebook. Like literally, no, you can't have a Facebook. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know how I would do as a parent, because when she told me that, and Mom, you know the story. You caught me on Facebook one day because we have a computer, right?
Do we have a similar story?
We probably do.
Go on. I'll share after.
We had a home computer, and it was in her room, and I would use the computer or whatever. So, you know, she told me I can't have Facebook. I made my whole account, all this or whatever. So, you know, I'm thinking I'm slick. I'll be getting on there when she at work and stuff. So one day, bro, I don't know what I was doing, but she came in. You think you slick? What you mean? Come here. Man, I came there, my Facebook was up. Dang, I left it up. Like I was sick, because she had a Facebook. So obviously she was going, you know, trying to sign into her stuff. I forgot to sign my stuff out. And she was like, wow. She's like, you know, I told you not to.
Bro, we literally have Dana the same story, except mine is a tad bit more embarrassing. So my mom had a MySpace. I remember, because every morning before going to work, she would have her playlist playing, and you know, her jumping cat wallpaper. Yeah. So I hopped on late. I'm thinking, okay, I'll have a MySpace, because she never said I couldn't. So I did it, and everybody was on it. So like in a week, I had like over 100 friends. But then I noticed the second week, MySpace was dying. I didn't have it. Everybody's like, oh, we're on Facebook now. So my mom did not give me permission to do a Facebook. So like you did, she had the home desktop in her room. So I created it. And when she was like asleep or whatever, I would hop on it.
Oh, God.
So one Friday, because every Friday and or Saturday, I would go skating. So I go to Skateland across town. And I'm, you know, there having a good time. And they like, hey, bro, what is this that you post on your Facebook? I'm like, what is you talking about?
No.
So my mom hacked me, and she said,
never.
I don't know if I should say it. She said that I was beating my meat on the toilet while taking a dump.
Yeah, hey, she did you dirty.
So people kept bringing that up, and I went home and Basically,
Dirty.
she was supposed to take away my Facebook account,
Mhm.
but she ended up not doing that because she realized, okay, I was at that age. But
Yeah.
like,
Same thing. My mom didn't take it away because she was like, oh, well, you know.
but at the expense of embarrassing me, she probably felt bad and said,
That's
you know
funny.
what, the damage is done. Because that wasn't even, she did 2 posts like that.
Yeah.
And it took a couple weeks for that to die down. So she probably felt bad, said, you know what, I got my revenge. You can have it.
Man.
That's
She-
crazy that we have the same story, though.
That is. She did you dirty, folks. Can't even lie. But hey, let's segue into our next segment. So, you asked me the question about what was it? If I could call anybody?
Yes, I said if you could call anybody in the world, well, actually, if you could call 3 people
3 people? Okay.
in the world, no restrictions, who would they be?
3 people in the world.
Obviously,
Okay, so alive.
yeah, alive. We'll do alive.
Shoot, I'm finna call Akira Toriyama. I'm not even gonna cap. I'm finna call, bro. Because I got a lot to say. Can I say whatever? Let's make it, I can say whatever and they'll do it.
Okay, bet.
That's not true, but anyway, I would call Akira Toriyama because I need you to explain how this man Goku punched through Broly and he had a 12 pack, bro. I can't get over it, bro. I can't. It haunts me. It haunts me every day, bro. How, Akira? He punched through this man. He had a 12 pack. And what energy could he have possibly gained from Trunks, Vegeta, Gohan when they got crunched? Vegeta got crunched in less than a minute.
After being a bee, the whole.
And I'm finna call about this Super. Where's Super at? It's been like 4 years.
I think it's dropping next year.
Man, you say that every year. You literally say that. It's dropping next year. It's coming out. Man, where? Y'all talking about the manga? And for all y'all, bro, that be spoiling anime, go to hell, man. Like, I'm gonna keep it a bug. I done already seen everything that happened in Dragon Ball Superhero because of y'all. I done seen all the... I should spoil it, but I'm not gonna do y'all like that. I done seen all the transformations, everybody that's gonna be in there, and I ain't even seen the movie yet. Y'all be thirsty, bro. God. But I'm gonna call him, because where's Super? And yeah, you need to rewrite that. That's why he made a whole nother Broly, because he know he did him dirty. But I'm gonna call him. And then I need to call somebody so I can get some bread. So who can I get some bread? I mean, I guess the logical explanation would probably be to call like Bill Gates, maybe Elon, or but I want somebody that's gonna actually give me some bread. Oh, I'm leaving out one of my favorite people. I'm calling Kevin Durant.
Hey,
I gotta call KD, chop it up with my guy. Tell him that I got his back. Everybody be hating on this man. He just that guy you love to hate, you know? I feel like he takes after Kobe in that regard because Kobe liked being the villain.
Yeah.
And so does KD. And yes, he gonna say what he want. Cause what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna run up on KD? What you gonna do? And y'all can't beat him in basketball. For all that people be saying he did, you can't beat him. He went to go to. Can you beat him? Can you stop him? No. So I'm calling KD. And then who else would I call? Ooh. It's between. I mean, I'm gonna get some flack if I called Zendaya, but I don't want to call her. She with Tom Holland anyway, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I would probably call. I like Chris Evans. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's Cap to me. I'm gonna call Cap. Chop it up with Cap, man, and ask him, is it time for me to take his spot yet? Because I know you got Anthony Mackie doing his thing, but he getting up there. So I'm gonna call him and see if it's time yet. I've been working and stuff. So
Okay.
Call bro. But yeah, that's my 3.
Oh, solid ones. And I think I definitely feel you with the Broly punch because it was just a regular punch. It wasn't
It was
even
a regular
dragon
like,
fist or nothing.
You couldn't dragon fist nothing for bro.
That would have made more sense.
And Jimmy, he had no damage. That's the only person that they've ever fought that had no damage the entire fight. He never took damage. And now you supposed to believe that a punch done exploded this man, punch all through his chest? How? But go ahead, bro.
So one, I would either call Kendrick.
Ooh, I didn't even think about music.
Yeah, there's a few artists, but I would say I would definitely call Kendrick for a couple of reasons. For one, it would be a blessing to to be on the track with him, because I just think he's like one of my top artists, dang near of all time. And just like what he stands for, he's also a humanitarian. So yeah. I just like everything that he fights for, and to kind of like chop it up with him on that tip, I think would be beautiful, because I think I'd gain something from him.
Are you gonna ask him if head is the answer? Head is the future. Hey, I'm dead. But no, that's a good pick.
Let's see who else. Since we're going the superhero route,
well, you don't have to. I completely have that music.
Who else would I call? Obviously, if he was alive, I'd without a doubt say Kobe. But he is not alive, so true. I cannot include him. But I would probably include. Who do I like? I kind of want to include. I want to include
somebody. I'm gonna say somebody that I would have thought you would have picked, considering shirt.
Oh yeah, you talking about Fred? Actually, that is a great pick, and I thank you for saying that. Bet on yourself is that's Fred's slogan for his thing and like his journey throughout his pretty much his entire life. But that's like everybody knows him for that. So he has like his own clothing collection. FVVshop.com, I believe is the website. I definitely would chop it up with him, because like he's seen. I won't say he's seen as a guy, but he's definitely someone that everyone looks up to as far as the hooping aspect. Because like we have a lot of good hoopers in my hometown, but a lot of them either fall short because of like being involved with the wrong people, or just other unforeseen circumstances. So I would definitely chop it up with him to see like not only like chop up with like his mantra and like his journey. How does he continuously come up in the right? Like how does he continue to be successful? Because he's arguably like the greatest to ever come out of the city. Mm-hmm. Now I know a lot of the old heads are gonna be like, no, you got Lee Lampley. Like he may not be the most talented, but he's definitely the most successful, because he's been in the league for what, like 5 years now? Dang near 6. He's been in the league for a while now.
He's been putting up numbers.
And he's been putting up numbers. And he's got a ship. I witnessed it in my home.
It's kind of hard to argue with that.
But I just want to.
He was like a huge part of the ship.
Yeah, oh, definitely. But I just want to chop it up with him on that, and just to kind of pick his brain to see how he does it, and probably just gain a couple pointers as to like how to make myself better and bet on myself. Because I feel like the mantra is important, because like, yeah, you want everybody to believe in you, but when all else fails, you got to believe in yourself.
Right.
If you have nothing, don't believe in yourself, you have nothing to stand on. So I appreciate you giving me that, because he definitely is somebody that I would love to chop it up.
Fred VanVleet for you guys that's wondering.
And then another one I kind of want to go on. I actually want to talk to Barack Obama.
Well, that's a great pick, bro.
I
didn't think about that.
Because it's been so long since he's been in office, and I just kind of want to see how he's doing right now. Now that he's, for the most part, out of the limelight, out of the spotlight.
Right.
But I know he comes in and out, not only to share his summer playlist, because I'll go every summer, he starts trending. I'm like, why is he trending? Is he dead? Please don't be dead.
Right.
But no, it's only because he shares his summer playlist and the people that he listens to. But also he chimes in here and there to like give his take on things that are going on in the world. So I'll just kind of chop it up to see how he's doing and
That's a great pick.
kind of get that motivation. Because you could say what you want about like his presidency and things that, maybe didn't happen that you wanted to happen. But I felt like for the circumstances given, I felt like he did a pretty solid job.
I think so too.
Is a pretty solid role model for all.
And I was gonna say, at the bare minimum, he inspired a lot of people. He inspired people that look like me and Jimmy. So, regardless of whatever he did in his 2 terms, and yes, he got 2 terms. Not everybody does that.
Mm-hmm.
He inspired people that look like us to be better, to reach high, and maybe achieve certain things that you didn't think was once attainable. So that's why I respect him just off that alone. Like. And what he did for so many people that look like us, like, you can never take that away.
Because ever since him, now he's probably the first publicized one or widely recognized one, but ever since he reached that status, there's been a lot of people of our color who have been moving into like those same ranks, like in the Supreme Court, in the House of Representatives, ever since him. So I agree, he definitely has paved the way. And who knows how many with the current and future generation will reach that.
So that's a great 3. Probably better than my 3, to be honest.
No. You have your valid reasons.
Yeah.
Because I agree. Stop doing this, man. Vegeta bogus.
Okay.
My goodness.
But so let's go ahead and get into our last topic for the day. So we talked about kids having phones. We talked about how we were having phones growing up. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Are people spending too much time on their phones? You think so?
I definitely agree. I'm not going to say 100% agree, but like every time I go out in public, the number of people I see looking at their phones normally outweighs the people who aren't doing that.
Right.
And
bro, like, even when we're like out with our friends and stuff, we might go to eat or something. I always peep that, just like how many people are just staring down. Like literally when I was just out in Texas and we were celebrating my friend's mom's birthday, we were all at the table and like, me and my other friend was making a comment like, yeah, dang, like everybody just looking on y'all phone. Like y'all just glued to the phone. Cause I guess that's just today's society. And it's almost like it's like a force of habit, but it's like you have nothing else to do, so you just gravitate towards that. And it's not like, like scrolling. That's I think that's why people are on their phones so much, is because it's just easy to scroll on stuff. And that has a lot to do with the apps.
It's almost like a nervous tick if
it's like a
takes
tick,
the place of a hair roll.
Right, or a fidgeting, or I agree. So yeah, I agree. I think people are spending a lot of time on the phone. And I'm not going to say that that's necessarily bad, because, sometimes you might have to spend a lot of time on the phone because something that we actually left out when we were talking about the new upgrades and, usage for phones, you can do business off of phones now. There's people that's running entire businesses off of a, Shopify or, certain websites that they have, or stocks or, crypto, Bitcoin, all this stuff. So there's people that have whole entire businesses running through the phone that rely on that phone.
Or even other apps where you're making money off of, like the people who do Uber or DoorDash, Instacart.
Betting,
Yep, gambling for those who like to do that.
Yeah.
I'm curious because I know my grandparents, like when I'm with them and I get on my phone, they get on my neck about being on my, like, hey, you're with me, get off your phone.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you like experienced that same phenomenon.
I actually haven't, because in like the last couple of years, we kind of got my grandma hip to the phone, because she be on, because my my whole family has a group chat, and she's always in there. She texts everybody good morning every day. She's always in there, so she's on the phone too now, and she's on Facebook too. Like, so she'll be scrolling. And she has 2 iPhones, because she has with her job, she has one with her job and then one just for her phone. So yeah, and then on flip side, my granddad, he has a phone too, but I think he still has a flip phone, and he don't even be using that mug. So
right,
he won't call me out though. But yeah, like even my mom, like she be on the phone all the time. Like they're probably on the phone more than me now, like, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
But that's because I feel like everything is just, with the way society is, it's almost like you have to be on the phone now because everything is connected. Who you want to talk to is on the phone. Society, with the apps, Facebook, Twitter, that's all the phone,
Yeah, back then there really wasn't too many apps for you, so
Right.
you weren't on it that much because there might not be something. But now there's something for you. You're gonna find it, and you're gonna spend more time on it because you love it.
It's almost
It's like
weird.
TikTok, man.
Yeah.
TikTok's dangerous.
It-
I fell
that's
into
why.
a loophole
That's why I never got
once.
into TikTok.
Once.
But I need to.
Yeah, you definitely do, but just don't fall into the loophole. Be on there for a little bit, get out of there. I did it one time.
Maybe
Never
I'll make a
again.
TikTok for this video. If
Never
you guys have already seen it. But yeah, and I was gonna say with Twitter and like, Facebook and stuff. Well, maybe Facebook I can see, but like, I wonder how many people are actually on a desktop using those apps, like
True.
Facebook and Twitter. Now I could see maybe YouTube because like if you at work or something like that, even though you shouldn't be doing that, I could
Right.
see you dipping off into YouTube, maybe Facebook too. But I feel like it's almost obsolete to use those apps on a desktop when it's on the
Yeah.
phone. Like, not obsolete completely, but I just don't think. I think it's a huge discrepancy.
True. Me personally, like I'll every now and then I'll like go on Facebook or Twitter on my MacBook.
Yeah, I do too.
And then even like
But I don't really go on Twitter. I'm not gonna lie on it.
now
I go
Instagram
on Facebook.
Now Instagram, they have it on desktop, but I don't use it on
I don't touch Instagram.
part of it because I barely remember my password, but if we're keeping it a buck. And then TikTok also has a desktop version too. But like I don't know too many creators who use that, but
Yeah.
they have that there too.
So how do you balance, the usage on your phone if you're on it too much?
One way I do it is I like to put on Do Not Disturb, or like I just try to keep an eye on like my screen time. Like,
Yeah.
I try to keep it within a reasonable amount,
Mhm.
so that way I'm not on it too much. And then I know one thing I was doing is I was putting limits.
Yeah, that's something my friend that put me onto too.
Yep. Billy, he had put me onto that. So I'm like, okay, I could be on this app, but I could only be on it for this long. Now, I wish they had it where it's like, no, you cannot take off this limit. Because like you could say, I'll only be on this app for 10 minutes, but you could keep on restarting the clock.
Right.
And then you could just, now you've been on there for 2 hours. I wish they had them over, like, you can't do that. Once you set this limit, this is what you have.
Yeah.
But that's one way I manage it.
That's a good way. I would say for me, because I tried that, and I'm gonna be honest, it didn't work. I make sure that I do other things. I make sure that I have stuff planned in my day because that will make sure that I have to put the phone down because I won't have an option and I have something that's competing for my time. So I try to just make sure my schedule is busy enough to where idle mind is a devil's workshop.
Yeah.
So I make sure that I'm not idle and I just don't have nothing to do because I know if I do that, then I'm going to be more prone to just scroll, be more prone to just hop on YouTube, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's another thing, just dealing with screens, especially with somebody that works from home. I look at screens all the time. Like, my job, all I do is look at the screen. I look at multiple screens.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to look at multiple screens and then to take a break and then look at the phone, like that's killing my eyes. That's killing my, my brain really. So
That's why I keep the brightness off. I do that more so for
that
the
should have been
battery,
that's
but-
unnecessary. Why do y'all be having y'all brightness so low? God, I hate that. I tried to get on this man's phone, man. I can't even see. Like, Jesus, bro. Like,
Hey, the rest of the gang, they get on me about that too.
yeah,
But
man. I hate that.
I like that last thing because it's either you could plan it out, or what I try to do is if I'm gonna be on my phone all day, I try to be productive with it.
Right.
Like, say if I'm gonna be on TikTok, like, yeah,
That's what it is. Yeah.
say you could see stuff, but I'm gonna try to find stuff that I either find interesting and I could like use,
Right.
or like say Instagram, which surprisingly we haven't even touched on because that's like,
I know Instagram is because Instagram is one of those too. You just Like literally, that's all the app is this.
But I find myself, especially lately, like because of the algorithm that's based to me, I like find stuff that's interesting and I save it more so like fitness stuff. So now I take that to the gym and say I'm doing a workout. And I'm like, all right, what's that form again? I go back to it, and then I try to get it right.
That's
so
smart.
I'm using it for productivity. So limit the idleness and use it more towards stuff that I could.
Yeah, that way you're not just
advantage.
mindlessly scrolling. That makes a lot of sense.
You're not gonna like every day. You're gonna do some type of scroll.
Well, of course,
that's impossible. But as long as you're like being productive with it,
being mindful too.
Being mindful, but like, dang, I've been scrolling for a minute.
Right.
Some people and then they get lost in it.
Right. You look up and it's nighttime.
That's what happened to me with the TikTok. It was like
That's what.
It was like 1 o'clock. It was like 1 o'clock and I'm on it. So like if I was busy throughout the day, I probably wouldn't have been on it this long. So it's like 1 o'clock, I'm in bed. Next thing you know, look, it's like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get off now.
Now.
Never again. I'm on a minimum 20, like maximum 20 minutes now before I get out.
I guess I gotta say I'm thankful for my SE because that mug will turn off because the battery not all that long, so I can't scroll that long. It's gonna shut off on you, boy. But hey,
That's
so
a way
yeah,
to think about it for sure.
that's a couple. Those are good tips. I'm gonna try to incorporate that too next time. I'm scrolling, because I definitely be seeing stuff that I'm like, oh, I could use this. So just save it. That's what they have it for. But hey, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this one. Been a great conversation about cell phones. Comment if you guys can live without your cell phone. Why or why not you think you could? Yeah.
I was gonna say, what was the first phone y'all had? Comment that too.
Oh yeah, what was the first phone y'all had? What was the best phone y'all had?
That's
But all right.
We out.